Good morning, good morning, good morning. I am waiting for a few people to show up. But if you don't, guess what? The show will go on. We will not stay stuck waiting on people. Hello, somebody. Somebody need to catch that. We will not stay stuck waiting for people to show up. We can show up for ourselves. Amen. So let me just say, this is the Breakthrough Zone. I am your host, Coach Sybil Kearse. And every Monday, I am going to come live and do a live coaching session where we're going to talk about topics to help us break through whatever's holding us back from being the best version of ourselves. So this is our second episode, and I'm super excited to be here with you all. So let's get into it. Let's start talking about what we came to talk about, because I don't want to keep you long. It's Monday morning. We're trying to get through this week. But what better way than to start your week with some encouragement, motivation, and anticipation of how you can be better than you were yesterday. All right. So again, the topic for today is how to get unstuck. The reason why this topic is so important is because a lot of my clients find themselves in this situation. The scary part is they don't know that they're stuck. Some people think they're making progress, but they're not. Okay. A lot of people are busy doing so much, but they're ineffective, and so I thought it would be an interesting topic to talk about so that we can figure out what it is that's stopping us, right? What is it that's holding us back? What are we allowing to keep us in a certain circumstance that we can't move forward from? All right. So that's the first thing. Identify, are you stuck? So you say, well, Coach Sybil, how do I know? Okay, well, let's think about it. All right. If you look back a certain period of time, 6 months, 3 months, a year, if there were certain goals that you set for yourself and you had not accomplished them, then it's a good possibility that you were stuck somewhere. Okay. Now, goals have to be set in order for us to strive to achieve them. Okay. We can't just go through life all free willy-nilly. What I'm saying is, as it pertains to your inner growth, whether it's for business purposes, whether it's for self-investment, whether it's for self-improvement, whatever it is, you have to set a goal or goals for yourself. Okay. And sometimes those goals have to be short-term goals that build to the long-term goal. But either way, you got to have some direction. You got to figure out that I'm here, but this is not where I want to be. You have to have made up your mind that wherever you are today is not where you want to stay. That there's something is better out there. That whatever lifestyle you're living now, you can attain better. That you know that there's more out there for you. All right. There's other things that you are striving towards. Okay. And a lot of things that people fail to realize is that they see the end result. They can see themselves at the finish line, but what they don't know is that they have to run the race. Some people want people to do it for them. Nobody can attain the wealth for you. Nobody can start the business for you. Nobody can do what you're supposed to do for yourself for you. It is imperative that we identify the goals so we can say, this is what we're working towards. Because when you are striving to improve yourself, when you are striving to better yourself, be it your financial circumstances, your business, personal growth, whatever area it is, you have to be keeping your eyes on the goal. Because if you don't, when the obstacles come, you're going to focus on the obstacle. But this is where you got to train yourself. Let your mindset be established to say, I have to focus on the goal, not the obstacle. Because this way, when the obstacle comes, you're going to do everything in your power to get around it, get over it, go under it, break it down, whatever you got to do, because the goal is still waiting for you to meet it. Okay. So set your goals and make sure that they're attainable. Okay. You know yourself. Yeah, everybody wants to be wealthy. Everybody wants to be this or that. But you know yourself and you know where you are, okay? It is difficult for someone who wants to lose weight to think that they're going to lose 100 pounds by next week. You have to set attainable goals, because if you don't, you're going to get discouraged before you start. Somebody need to write that down. Good morning, Juanita. God bless you, woman of God. God bless you. Millionaire. Yes, I'm around millionaires, y'all. But bless you. Listen, you have to make sure that your goals are attainable. Do not overstretch it. Remember, you can set small goals to reach the larger goal, the long-term goal. Okay. Make sure your goals are attainable. Be realistic in what you're trying to do. It's okay to take baby steps as long as we keep stepping. Okay. We cannot stay stuck. 2022 is approaching. Some of you all don't even know it, but your lives are going to change. You're not going to be the same way you are now. There's things that is approaching in your life, but if you're not willing to meet it, guess what? Somebody else will. Make your goals attainable. Be realistic. You know where you are. If it's weight loss, then start walking. If you know you can't walk an hour, you can't do 50 miles, then just start with 1. And then reassess the next day if you have to. Make your goals attainable and achieve them. Good morning, Tracy. God bless you, woman of God. Thank you for that prayer. If y'all need a prayer to get through, I got the hookup. I got the plug. Amen. So the next thing I want you to understand, identify your comfort zone. Where you comfortable at? All right. We can think of it like this. We can have a couch, our favorite couch, or our favorite place to snuggle up in, and that's where we're most relaxed, right? That's where we can fall back on anytime. You know, we had a rough day, we might plop down in that favorite seat, that favorite chair, wrap up in our favorite blanket, but guess what? You're comfortable, but there's no growth. You cannot grow where you're comfortable at. Identify what areas of your life that you want to improve that you are comfortable in. If you are comfortable, then you're not growing. Somebody need to write that down. If you're not comfortable, you're not growing. Okay? Let me tell you something. Everything that grows has to go through some growing pains. All right? And sometimes the pain is not physical. Sometimes it's mental. Sometimes it's spiritual. But growth is not something that's going to be found in your comfort zone. You cannot grow where you're comfortable at. So when you set your goals, understand you're going to have to get up out that comfort zone to start getting to it. All right. Nobody says it was easy to start incorporating a walking session in your life so that you can achieve your weight loss goals. But guess what? It's necessary, because you're not going to lose weight sitting in that comfortable chair, eating your favorite foods, being comfortable. There'll be no growth. All right. If you are trying to start a business, you cannot sit there and say, I want to have a successful business, but you've made no attempt to find out how to get it started. You've not networked with nobody because you don't like people. You don't want to talk to nobody. Well, how can you grow? You've talked to yourself your whole life and you still are where you are. So that lets you know you have to link arms with someone. You got to be willing to be mentored. You got to humble yourself and say, you know what? I need to be up under somebody who's already doing it so I can be taught. See, people think that they got to sit here and be envious of somebody who's doing it. Baby, she or he is not your competition. They're your teacher. You need to be in a position to learn, because if they're already doing it and you're not, then there's something you can learn from that person and you can use it to improve yourself. Okay. So we've established we need to identify our goals. We got to get up out our comfort zone and do what it takes to achieve those goals. All right. Guess what's going to happen next? You done did all of this. You're out of your comfort zone. You're going to fear something. It's going to happen. It happens to all of us. We're going to doubt. We're going to second guess. So many people, especially my clients, don't even realize how they've talked themselves out of an opportunity before they even try to get it. So many people talk their own selves out. Don't you know that there's a world filled with people who would love to stop you from achieving your own goals? And here you are joining that bandwagon. We are talking ourselves out of getting somewhere before we even got dressed to go. My God, we already talked ourselves out of it. Okay? We already said we can't do it. If you don't believe me, I'm going to give you an example. Have you ever talked to somebody and said, man, I want to hit the lottery, right? That's the dream for getting rich quick, is hitting the lottery. Seems so easy. Buy a ticket and boom, you're a millionaire, right? However, I've talked to so many people who said, I'm going to hit the lottery, and they have all these plans and dreams, what they're going to do with that money. And then the next thing out their mouth is, but I don't never win nothing. You don't know what you got in your future. The only definite thing is a no when you don't try. If you don't put yourself in the position to strive towards what you're trying to achieve, that's a definite no. But anytime you're willing to get up out your comfort zone and try Trust me, the fear and the doubt will come, but you have to say to it, you got to speak to it and say, I don't care what you say. As long as I'm trying, there's a possibility. As long as I'm striving, there's a possibility I'm going to make it. As long as I get up and go, there's somewhere I'm going to be. But I know for sure that if I don't get up and stay right here, here is where I'm going to stay. And that's the only definite thing that you have control over. We can't change our past. Nothing you can do about it. You could reflect upon it. You could grow from it. You could learn from it. You could choose to stay where you are, but you cannot change your path. But I promise you, what you do today has the possibility to change where you're going. You got the possibility to change the trajectory of your narrative. You don't have to keep writing the same narrative. There's places and people that are waiting to meet you. There's names. Your name has been put in rooms your feet have never been in. But baby, if you're not willing to take the first step, then you're just a nameless person. That position will not find you. You have to be willing to say, no matter how scary this situation is, I don't like talking to people, but I'm willing to get uncomfortable and just reach out and say hi to somebody. I'm willing to say, I've always thought about getting into this industry, and I see that you're doing it, and I applaud you. I applaud you, sis. I applaud you, bruh. But I would like to learn from you. We got to get out of this theory that we can't talk and network with people, because you'd be surprised. Just this past week, I met some wonderful women who don't know me from a can of paint and want me to succeed, because they know that no matter how successful I am, it don't take away from how successful they're going to be and already are. When you get around people who want to see the best for you, trust me, it'll get easier every time, but you cannot not let that fear be louder in your mind. This is a mindset coaching session. I'm teaching you how to get your mind to be on one accord with what you have in your vision. Okay? So when that fear comes in, when the doubt comes in, you got to speak to it. You got to cancel it out before it resonates in you. Okay? They say an idle mind is the devil's playground. He gonna put all these thoughts in here, but let me tell you something. Everything that come up here don't need to get to your heart. Okay? I'm not going to preach, but I'm telling you something. Write that down. Everything that's in your mind ain't yours. You have the option to accept and receive it or reject it. Okay? So if somebody came to your house and you didn't order nothing from Amazon, you ain't bought nothing from Walmart, here they come with this box, and you don't really know where it came from, you don't know who sent it to you, you don't know even what's in it. You have the option at that point to return the sender or bring it in. Okay? Now, if you know it ain't yours, you don't have to bring it in. You don't have to receive it. So those thoughts that you know has the full intention of stopping you from reaching your goal, you can reject it. How can you do it? Well, one way is if something comes into your mind and says you can't, if you know the God that I serve, and I'm not saying everybody do, but I pray you find them. But you got to know that there's a truth to every lie. There's a truth to every lie. And that lie that says you can't do, there's a truth behind it says you can do. You got to have a can-do attitude. You got to tell that thing that even if you say I can't, I didn't see that in writing. If it ain't in black and white, it didn't happen. So I'm going to put down in black and white. I'm going to write this thing down. I'm going to write the vision and make it plain. I will accomplish such and such. I am a millionaire. Hallelujah. I am successful. I will be this, or I am going to be that. And I talked about this in last week's session. Sometimes you got to dress the part before you get the position, but you're going to have to talk against all of this fear that's coming your way. Have a can-do attitude, and I promise you that fear and doubt will slowly subside, because the more you accomplish your goals, the more you get uncomfortable, the more comfortable you become with being uncomfortable, and the more goals you accomplish. Okay? Now, the last thing I want to talk about is those people that are stuck because they're waiting to have it all together. They're waiting to say, well, I can't start the business because I want to get the EIN first, and then I got to get this first, and I got to get that first, and I want to do it all together. Honey, let me tell you something. Everything that's built came in parts. Buildings come in parts. Okay? Your phone was put together through parts. Okay? You were put together through parts. If you don't believe me, read the Bible. We are put together in parts. Stop waiting to have perfection, because that's going to hinder your progression. You got to be willing to say, you know what? Let me put these pieces together as it come. When you get that puzzle in the box, It ain't all put together, but you know that the whole picture is there. But if you don't start working on it, it will never come together. If you have this business in mind, if you know that there's something you want to accomplish, if there's something that you know there's a burning desire on the inside of you, but you don't know all of how to do it, what you got to do, listen. Start with what you know. Go to Google. Research. Read some things. Kindle is a wealth of knowledge, and it's free. Google is free. It's easy for you to find something because guess what happens when you do? You start connecting the pieces. Everything that is in existence didn't come out whole. My God, I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it. Let me tell you something. In order for you to be whole, you got to first be in pieces, okay? And in order for whatever it is that's going to come into the whole picture, you got to understand that you got to deal with each of the pieces. All of the parts make up the whole. But if you're not willing to even deal with each part, then you will never get the whole picture put together. Stop waiting to be perfect. Start doing right from where you are. Okay? And I'm going to just say this. When you plant whatever seed you planted, you don't never eat the fruit the same day. It still has to go through all of what it takes to become edible, to become digestible, to become fruitful. So I need you to understand these things as you going about your day, as you set forth, as you move forward into whatever it is you're moving towards, okay? You might be a career status employee. You've been working a job. You've committed to this job. You've given it all you got, and you're still in the same position that you was in 20 years ago. I'm not saying anything is wrong with that, but you may have found yourself saying, there might be more to this. You know, the pandemic came, and some of us ain't have a job to go back to. Some of us didn't know how we were going to feed our families. Some of us didn't have a plan B or C because we put our all into plan A. We put all our eggs in that one basket, and when that basket dropped, we didn't know what to do. So now's the time to say, what else is there? What else can I do to add to me, to add and invest in myself? You got to get unstuck. You cannot sit where you are. There's some things waiting to happen that you have the keys to unlock. There's a door waiting for you with the key. You ain't going to get there if you sit where you are. So understand this. Set your goals. Make them attainable. Be realistic with yourself. It's okay to start small and build on it. Get up out your comfort zone. Start networking. Start talking to people. Reach out to people. Follow people that are doing what you think you want to do. Be willing to learn from them. Be willing to open your mouth. A closed mouth don't get fed, baby. Open your mouth and speak over yourself. Speak to some people and speak to God about it. I'm telling you, it's bound to happen. And when that fear and that doubt set in, cancel it out. You talk against it. You cancel it out and you write down your affirmations about yourself. And when you put it in black and white, I'm telling you, it happens. And then you just got to remember, you can't wait until you got it all together to want to be out there. You may not have a suit, but you put on the best outfit you have and go on out there. Eventually, your money will come where you can afford the suit. You may not have the right words, but you speak what you know and use what you got. The God said he gave it in our hands. Use what's in your hands. Use what you got. He will cause the increase, okay? I'm telling you what I know, not what I heard or what I think. These are things that will help you as you move forward in whatever it is you're doing. Whatever it is, if you want to get promoted on your job, if you want to build a family, if you want to go out there and start a business, or if you want to write a book, listen, I have to tell you right now, there's none of those things you can do on your own. But when you put yourself in these steps of breaking it down to where you can get from point A to Z, you'll get there. And when you reach your goal, guess what you do? Go back to step one. Go back to step one. It's time to grow some more, okay? So I hope and pray that this was a blessing to you. I hope and pray that you will share this video because somebody needs to know what can they do to get unstuck. That's what it's all about for 2022. We are not going to let none of what we went through in 2020, 2021 or anything hinder us from what's coming to us in 2022. We're going to put ourselves out there. We're going to take that step forward to say, you know what? It's time for me to change. Listen, you can't expect to get new things from old behaviors. You can't expect to see new things happen in your life if you ain't willing to do something you've never done before. You got to be willing to say, you know what, I'm 47. And everything I've been doing all these years, I'm still where I'm at. That means something got to change. Okay? You keep staying straight, you ain't never going to get to where you got to go. You're going to have to make a left or right turn every now and then. Sometimes you got to make a U-turn, but you got to be willing to do it. So today, commit to yourself. Commit to yourself. I'm going to do everything I can to change my circumstances. And then when we come back next Monday, whatever goals you set for this week, check it off your list that you've accomplished those goals because you remembered that you can do it. You remembered and you believed in yourself, and I believe in you. I believe you can do it. And I promise you, I'm going to have my own goals that I'm going to come back and share with you because I just set some today. Last night I set some, and I believe by Monday those goals will be accomplished. So now I'm not telling you to do what I ain't willing to do with you. All right? I'm with you till the very end, and we're going to high-five each other all the way up to the top. So I love you all. God bless you all. Thank you for tuning in. Love you, Juanita. Love you, Tracy. Thank you guys for being here. Love the support. I can't wait till we get unstuck and get into this millionaire status. Praise the Lord. You guys have a blessed week. Keep focused, and I'll probably be back on Wednesday to give you just a small token of Wednesday wisdom to get us through the hump day, and we're going to see just how successful we're going to be all the way to the top. Much love and success. God bless.